There are few roles on this planet more misunderstood than that of the soldier. People see uniforms, medals, and marches. They hear the sound of jets overhead, see the footage of conflict zones, and imagine a life built on combat. But what they miss, what they rarely see, is the unshakable truth that no American soldier stands alone. Behind every uniform is a bond that defies fear, transcends politics, and outlives even death itself. Because the warrior spirit is not about the fight. It's about who you're fighting for. In the American military, a strength doesn't come from the size of your weapon. It comes from the size of your why. You don't raise your hand to serve this country because you want attention. You do it because there's something inside you that refuses to be passive while others sacrifice. There's something in your soul that says, if not me, then who? That's the warrior spirit. And it is alive in every man and woman who wears the uniform. The world often focuses on technology, strategy, and power. But the real advantage, the thing no enemy can replicate, is unity. A soldier doesn't go in to battle thinking about themselves. They think about the brother next to them, the sister watching their back, the family they left behind, and the people counting on them. That sense of shared responsibility creates a bond so deep that even in the face of chaos, they move forward, not out of fear, but out of trust. You want to know what makes the American soldier different. It's not just training. It's not just resources. It's belief. Belief in the mission. Belief in their team. Belief that even when things go wrong, they will not face it alone. Because in this culture, failure is never final, pain is never private, and courage is never a solo act. The moment you put on that uniform, you are part of something far greater than yourself. You are not just defending a nation. You are representing a set of values, honor, duty, sacrifice, and loyalty. A soldier's strength is not born on the battlefield. It's born in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When a person makes a decision to stand for something greater than themselves, it's easy to mistake strength for noise, for aggression, for domination. But the real strength of a soldier comes from purpose. Purpose is the silent engine that powers them through the darkest nights, the longest marches, the most uncertain missions. It's not the rifle in their hands or the armor on their chest that makes them unstoppable. It's the clarity in their mind, the conviction in their heart, and the reason behind every step they take. When someone steps into service, they aren't just taking a job. They're making a vow to protect, to defend, to serve, not for personal gain, but for the people they may never meet. That kind of purpose fuels a type of courage that can't be shaken by fear. It creates focus where there could be chaos, calm in the middle of crisis. When the bullets are flying, when the world feels uncertain, it's not physical strength that keeps a soldier grounded. It's their unwavering commitment to the mission. That mission gives every action meaning. It gives every risk a reason. Purpose also creates resilience. There's a reason soldiers endure grueling training, sleepless nights, endless drills. It's not just to build muscle. It's to build resolve. Because when your body wants to quit, it's your why that keeps you moving. And when that why is rooted in service, our worth, in protecting the people and values that matter most, you become unbreakable in a way no enemy can understand. The world sees uniforms, but what they don't see is the inner fire that burns beneath it. That fire is purpose. And that purpose transforms ordinary people into extraordinary warriors. What makes the American soldier powerful is not just how they fight. It's why they fight. That why defines how they lead, how they train, how they sacrifice. It gives direction to their discipline and courage to their choices. And when everything else is stripped away, when there's no comfort, no safety, no certainty, that purpose is still standing. That's where true strength lives. Not in the armor, but in the belief behind it. When a soldier steps onto the battlefield, they don't walk alone. Even in the harshest conditions, under the weight of uncertainty, one truth remains unshaken. They are never fighting for themselves. They are fighting for the person to their left and the one to their right. They're fighting for the families back home, for the people who believe in freedom, and for a country built on the promise that unity is strength or worth. Brotherhood in the military isn't just a word. It's the reason soldiers charge forward when the rest of the world would freeze. It's the bond that holds the line when everything else begins to break. In the military, you learn quickly that survival depends on trust. Not just trust in strategy or leadership, but in each other. That trust isn't given lightly. It's earned through sweat, sacrifice, and shared struggle. It's built in early mornings, through grueling drills, in the long silences during night watch, in the split-second moments where one person's life rests in another's hands. These aren't just teammates. They're brothers and sisters bound by something deeper than blood. And in that bond lies a power that no weapon, no enemy, no chaos can overcome. The reason American soldiers remain relentless in the face of fear is because they know someone is counting on them, and they refuse to let them down. That's the difference between a group and a unit. A group may scatter under pressure, but a unit moves as one. When one soldier stumbles, another picks them up. When one faces danger, the others lean in closer. There is no room for ego, no space for selfishness, no tolerance for betrayal. The mission only succeeds when every member is locked in, committed, and all in for each other. This level of brotherhood becomes a force multiplier. It elevates performance, amplifies courage, and sustains morale even in the worst conditions. It means that even when a soldier is exhausted, wounded, or overwhelmed, they keep moving. Not because they feel strong, but because someone beside them, you, needs them to be. This is where you discover a new level of strength. The kind that only emerges when you're fighting for something beyond yourself. A soldier doesn't face the battlefield thinking, how do I survive? They go in thinking, how do we win? Because in their world, no one fights alone and no one is left behind. Discipline in the military is often misunderstood by the outside world. People see it as rigid, mechanical, or even robotic. But that's because they don't understand what real discipline is. Discipline is not about restriction, it's about direction. It's the internal compass that keeps a soldier focused when the noise of life and war gets too loud. It's the system that turns chaos into clarity. It's the backbone of every decision, every mission, every step a soldier takes, especially when pressure is at its peak. Without discipline, strength means nothing. Courage has no structure. Skill has no foundation. But with it, everything sharpens into purpose. Every morning that a soldier wakes up before dawn, laces their boots, and trains harder than they did the day before, they're not doing it to check a box. They're doing it because they understand that excellence isn't an act. It's a habit, and that habit must be forged through repetition, through sweat, and through the willingness to do what most people won't. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It demands that you show up anyway. That's what sets a warrior apart from the average. While the world looks for motivation, the disciplined soldier relies on commitment. And that commitment becomes their edge when everything else is falling apart. Discipline is what keeps a soldier calm under fire. It's what allows them to control their breath when their heartbeat is racing. It's what allows them to think clearly when panic surrounds them. And it's what helps them execute with precision when there is zero room for error. It's easy to look brave in ideal conditions, but discipline is what creates consistency when conditions are anything but ideal. That's what makes the American soldier dependable, not just talented, but trustworthy. Because you can count on someone who is ruled by discipline, not emotion. And in discipline, there is freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from fear. Freedom from second guessing. Because when a soldier knows they've done the work, prepared their mind, trained their body, and mastered the basics, they can walk into any battle knowing they've already done the hard part. The hard part isn't the moment of the mission. It's the years of preparation that led up to it. And it's in that preparation, in that relentless pursuit of excellence, that discipline reveals its true power. It doesn't confine a soldier. It unleashes them. In the heart of every great warrior lies one defining trait: sacrifice. Not the kind that's symbolic or convenient, but the kind that costs something. Real sacrifice is uncomfortable. It's painful. It asks you to give up what's easy so others can sleep in peace. It demands that you put someone else's safety, freedom, and future ahead of your own. And nowhere is that spirit more alive than in the soul of the American soldier. Because true leadership in the military isn't about being in charge. It's about being willing to serve, even when it hurts, even when no one notices, even when the reward is silence. Leadership through sacrifice is what transforms a soldier from a warrior into a legend. It's not about medals or recognition. It's about the choices they make when the spotlight is off and the weight of responsibility is crushing. A real leader in uniform doesn't bark commands from a distance. They step into the fire first. They carry more than their share. They walk slower so no one is left behind. Because leadership isn't shown in speeches. It's proven in sacrifice. There's something deeply powerful about a soldier who signs up knowing that they might never come back, that their time with family may be cut short, that holidays may be missed, injuries may be permanent, and scars, both seen and unseen, will follow them forever. And yet, they do it anyway, not for applause, not for fame, but because they've committed themselves to a higher standard of leadership, the kind that gives more than it takes, that leads through action, and that accepts the burden so others don't have to carry it. Sacrifice in leadership also means making the hard calls. It means standing firm when pressure tries to break you. It means taking responsibility not just for your own life, but for the lives of those you lead. It means going without so others can have enough. It means choosing integrity over popularity, duty over comfort, and honor over ease. These are the quiet decisions that build trust. These are the invisible acts that earn loyalty. This is what makes leadership in the military not just a position, but a privilege. Because when a soldier sacrifices, they're not just giving something up, they're giving something forward. They're investing in a legacy of courage, of honor, of unshakable character. And it's through this selfless leadership that they inspire others to rise higher. In the mind of a soldier, mindset is everything. It's the foundation on which resilience is built. It's the difference between those who falter and those who rise. A soldier doesn't just train their body. They forge their mind into steel. Because out there, in the uncertainty of conflict, when the odds are against them and the path is unclear, it's the mindset that holds the line. It's the belief that no matter how difficult the mission, no matter how strong the storm, they have what it takes to endure, to adapt, and to overcome. The world may see discipline and courage, but beneath it all is an unbreakable mental framework, crafted through experience, pain, and relentless focus. A strong mindset isn't born in comfort. It's forged in adversity. Every early morning, every cold night, every impossible challenge is a chance to harden that mindset. Soldiers are trained to expect setbacks, to embrace the chaos, to remain calm when others would crumble. They develop a way of thinking that doesn't ask, "Is this fair?" But instead, "What must I do next?" That kind of thinking doesn't run from pain. It uses it as fuel. It turns fear into focus, confusion into clarity, and pressure into power. When the enemy is loud and the stakes are high, it's not just muscle that carries a soldier forward. It's the quiet, unwavering voice in their head that says, keep moving. This mindset isn't just useful in battle. It's a blueprint for life. It teaches the value of staying grounded when everything else is shaking. It teaches the discipline to act with purpose, not emotion. It builds mental armor against doubt, failure, and fear. And the most powerful part of all, it's not a gift. It's a choice. A soldier chooses every day to think stronger, to expect more from themselves, to see every obstacle as an opportunity to prove their resilience. That choice, repeated over time, becomes who they are. In the military, you learn that you may not control your circumstances, but you always control your response. And that's where power lies, in the response. The way you think under pressure determines the way you act under pressure. And when that thinking is rooted in courage, discipline, and clarity, it becomes a weapon more powerful than any tool in a soldier's hands. The American soldier does not just fight for land or policy. They fight for purpose. Deep within every mission, beyond the tactics and beyond the orders, lies a powerful why. It's this inner purpose that transforms the burden of battle into a calling. It's what keeps a soldier grounded when the mission stretches longer than expected, when the conditions get brutal, and when the sacrifices feel overwhelming. Purpose gives pain meaning. Purpose gives uncertainty direction. Or purpose makes the difference between simply surviving the battlefield and standing tall with unshakable conviction through it. When a soldier knows why they fight, they don't need external motivation. They don't wait to be inspired. They are the inspiration. Their cause is larger than themselves, larger than medals, larger than titles. It's about defending something freedom, unity, honor, justice, and the belief that every citizen deserves the right to live without fear. That belief fuels them when their strength is depleted. It drives them when no one's watching. Purpose doesn't fade when the spotlight goes out. In fact, that's when it burns brightest. When a soldier is alone, facing uncertainty, and still chooses to advance. Purpose provides clarity in the fog of war. It allows a soldier to stay true to the mission even when everything around them is unclear. It allows them to say, I know who I am. I know what I'm here to do. That clarity leads to resolve. That resolve leads to courage. And that courage leads to action. It's this chain reaction that gives soldiers the ability to go further than they thought possible, to withstand more than they imagined, and to rise after every fall. And the power of purpose isn't confined to the battlefield. It becomes part of the soldier's identity. It shapes the way they walk through life long after the uniform comes off. It becomes a compass for how they treat others, how they face challenges, and how they lead by example. When you've fought for a cause that's bigger than yourself, you return to civilian life with a new lens. A lens that sees service as strength, as a gift, and purpose as the ultimate fuel. Because at the core of every American warrior is a soul anchored in meaning. It's not about glory. It's about living and fighting in alignment with something eternal. Purpose creates warriors who aren't just trained. They're driven, not just skilled. They're devoted, not just present. They're fully alive in what they believe.